I'm trying to help people understand what's taking place here in America. It's called institutional capture. And you see, because all the psychiatrists and all the professors are liberal Democrats, and what they're doing is they're teaching this um, historical and primal type of um, uh, um, you know, trigger for genetic predispositions, which are in all of us. And they can go back generations, and they can go back a couple, they can go back many. And just in my own tiny kingdom, the narcissistic matriarch, which I know is hard for people to accept, but it's the facts. And the gaslighting and the abuse is monumental, and it affects the people who are possessing potential. In other words, these people will outshine the narcissist. So the narcissist will go into complete rage. And of course, they look like they're speaking calmly to you, and they're going to tell you about your mental illness, which is, a false narrative. And it's their mental illness. So what we see is they're able to, in today's, institutional capture, use this, because the objective two percenters understands, the virtuous knowledge of soul. Also, a holy person is going to say, I see this whole picture, and what you're doing now is you're raising, you're creating anger in me, and what you're doing is you want me to, react in a way that you can identify as mental illness. Although this is normal behavior, this is like talking to a wall that's controlling you. And so you're trying to tell it, and it refuses to acknowledge all the facts and the statistics and anything that is, going to prove them wrong. So, they will ignore it, or will start gaslighting you and attacking you, or Darvo, which is they're going to switch the blame onto you. They're going to, reverse it. And they're going to start telling you softly and calmly how you're mentally ill. So if peace, if you want it, we need to do something about this, because it's biblical, and it's at the proportions that can be identified as the forecasted GA ray. And I'm not just making this stuff up for a reason. I don't even uh, it's not something that I want to have to do. I feel it's a real pity and a shame for the entire human experience, and I feel that this is resembling 1984, and we also have a Muslim twist, or an Islamic twist, and we see that the same tactics and con job are being used, and it's going to prey on your emotions, and it's going to use the political correctness over the top to tell you that you're being some sort of phobic, which is absurd. Everyone has the right to live here in the United States, and everyone is being protected. The same policies have been used. The teachers and the institutional control and will do is they're teaching children to go out here, and what they're protesting is hypocritical and contradicting. So what we're doing is that's what we're teaching them, and the dharma of the teacher, and the pedestals that we have these people on, which are not earned status. You see, in my case, my mother, quickly the matriarch, quickly, because she wore the pants and dad wasn't allowed, and then dad got cancer. See, the thing is, when I'm being placed on the coach is carrying me off the field, and I'm saying, let me down, because my mom's going to see this and she's going to go into a rage. No one's going to see the rage, but as soon as we get home, you get down off that pedestal, mister, and you go, and that's the way it is. So, and then comes the behind the scenes gossiping and the gaslighting and all this, to create some sort of monster out of, the potential, and to crush him. And that's what goes on, and this is what went on in the discrimination for me by the same narcissistic collective group here in Sonoma County, California, where they discriminated against me at least 3 times. They ostracized me. There's Zoom videos of this stuff. It's no secret that they did this, and they did it self-righteously in the most outrageous spectacle I've seen in a lower level bureaucracy ever, and they continue to um, put pressure from this institutional control and on the politicians who then become paralyzed, by this, um, inability to actually see the picture and be able to point it out. Maybe they just don't, and there's people like me that do, and we look like I've had enough. The introverted aspects are require a sense of urgency. So when I'm getting angry, not only is it creating, but it's necessary, and it's time for all of you other chosen 2%ers who are holy and can see the light. And we'd like to thank Rene Descartes and no doubt in the efforts of the communication and the success with the pineal gland. Love one another, no matter how much the way may change. The truth will always remain the same. Love one another. Read, subscribe.